Last night, a 71-year-old man passed away in his sleep. No warning signs, no recent illness, just silence. Frank Thompson was 71 years old, a retired mechanic, proud grandfather of 4, and still active in his community. He walked every morning, watched his salt intake, and never missed a doctor's appointment. To everyone who knew him, Frank was the picture of a healthy senior living a good, quiet life. The night before he died, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. He had dinner with his wife, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and a slice of pie. They watched an old Western movie together, laughed, talked about their plans for the weekend. Around 10:30 p.m., Frank yawned, kissed her goodnight, and went to bed. The next morning, his wife noticed something strange. He hadn't gotten up for his usual morning coffee. She went to their bedroom and found him cold and unresponsive. The paramedics arrived quickly, but it was too late. Frank had died in his sleep. The cause listed on the report? Natural causes. But what does that even mean? There were no signs of illness, no complaints, no chest pain or warning signals, just silence. It's a phrase often used when the truth isn't fully understood or when subtle risks go unnoticed for too long. Frank's story isn't unique. Every year, thousands of seniors pass away during sleep with no clear explanation. But recent studies show that in many of these cases, small and seemingly harmless bedtime habits may play a much bigger role than anyone realizes. And now, it's time to look at what might really be happening during those quiet hours of the night, because sometimes the biggest danger is the one we never see coming. Most people think of aging as something that happens slowly, over decades. Wrinkles form, hair grays, joints get a little stiff. But what many seniors don't realize is that some of the most important changes, the ones that affect your survival overnight, are happening inside your body, quietly and invisibly. After the age of 70, your body no longer handles the night the way it once did. Your heart becomes more sensitive to pressure and strain. Your blood vessels become stiffer, which can lead to sudden spikes or drops in blood pressure, especially while you're lying down or getting up at night. Your metabolism slows and the digestive system takes longer to process food. This can turn a late-night snack into a trigger for acid reflux, elevated heart rate, or even interrupted sleep. Bladder control also weakens. The muscles that once held urine comfortably through the night become less reliable. Your kidneys continue filtering, but your ability to hold it doesn't. That means more trips to the bathroom and more chances of slipping, falling, or disrupting the deep sleep your body needs to stay healthy. Temperature regulation is another hidden change. Older adults are less efficient at cooling down, which makes it easier for the body to overheat during the night, especially if the room is warm or the bedding too heavy. All of these shifts add up to a simple but dangerous truth. The older we get, the more fragile the night becomes. That's why bedtime habits that were harmless at 40 could quietly become life-threatening after 70. And in the next chapter, we'll start with the first and most common of these hidden dangers, one that begins right at the dinner table. You've probably heard the old saying, "Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper." But for many seniors, that gets flipped. Dinner becomes the biggest meal of the day, and often the latest one. After 70, that's a dangerous habit. When you eat a heavy meal late at night, Your body is forced to focus on digestion when it should be winding down for rest and repair. The digestive process becomes slower with age, meaning food stays in your stomach longer, producing more acid and increasing the chance of acid reflux. But this isn't just about heartburn. Reflux during sleep can trigger shortness of breath, coughing, and even choking. In some cases, stomach acid can reach the throat and upper airways, leading to aspiration pneumonia, a serious infection that can be fatal, especially in older adults. There's also your heart to consider. Eating a large, rich meal, like pasta with creamy sauce, fried foods, or a big steak, causes your heart rate to stay elevated longer into the night. Instead of slowing down for rest, your cardiovascular system keeps working overtime. This raises the risk of stroke and heart attack during the most vulnerable hours of your sleep cycle. Let's go back to Frank for a moment. That night, he had meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and dessert just 30 minutes before bed. Nothing extreme, nothing out of the ordinary. But combined with slow digestion, a weaker esophageal valve, and elevated blood pressure, that seemingly harmless meal could have been a trigger in a chain of silent events. So, what should you do instead? Experts recommend finishing your last meal 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. That gives your body time to digest, stabilize your heart rate, and ease into rest mode. If you're hungry later on, choose light options like a small piece of fruit, a few almonds, herbal tea with no caffeine. Small adjustments like these can make a massive difference, not just in your sleep, but in your long-term health. Because when it comes to bedtime habits, what you eat and when you eat matters more than ever. And next, we'll talk about another habit that seems healthy, but might actually be waking you up for all the wrong reasons. Staying hydrated is important. No one's denying that. But after the age of 70, when you drink can be just as important as how much you drink. Many seniors make the mistake of drinking large amounts of water, juice, or even tea late in the evening. The intention is good, staying healthy, flushing toxins, preventing dehydration, but the result? Frequent bathroom trips in the middle of the night. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a serious health risk. As we age, the bladder becomes less elastic and more sensitive. Even small amounts of fluid can trigger urgency. And when you get up at 2 or 3 a.m., half asleep and in the dark, your chances of falling increase dramatically. It's called nocturia, and it's one of the most overlooked causes of nighttime falls in older adults. Imagine this. You wake up suddenly, feeling the urge. You sit up, but your blood pressure hasn't caught up. You feel dizzy, maybe lightheaded. That's postural hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when standing. Now picture trying to rush to the bathroom in that condition. One misstep, and you're on the floor with a fractured hip, or worse. But the danger doesn't end there. Every time you wake up, turn on a light, or shuffle through the house, your brain starts producing less melatonin, the hormone responsible for deep, restorative sleep. That means you're getting lighter, interrupted sleep, which weakens your immune system and can even accelerate cognitive decline. In fact, studies have shown a clear link between poor sleep in seniors and increased risk of dementia over time. So what's the fix? Front-load your hydration. Drink most of your fluids earlier in the day. Cut off heavy liquids. Avoid full glasses of water after dinner. Choose small sips if needed at night. Avoid caffeine and alcohol in the evening. They're both diuretics. Also, don't forget hidden fluids in your diet. Soups, watery fruits, and even some medications can all contribute to nighttime urgency. By simply adjusting your hydration habits, you can reduce fall risk, improve your sleep quality, and protect your brain. And coming up next, we'll explore a bedtime mistake that almost no one talks about, yet millions are making it every night without even realizing it. A warm, cozy bedroom sounds comforting, especially as we get older. Many seniors even believe that bundling up under thick blankets or turning the heat up high helps them sleep better. But in reality, sleeping in a room that's too warm can silently sabotage your health. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating temperature. Sweating becomes less effective, and the ability to cool down naturally during sleep declines. This makes seniors far more susceptible to overnight overheating, even if they don't feel uncomfortably hot. And here's why that matters. When your body overheats, your heart has to work harder to try and cool you down. Your heart rate increases. Your blood thickens slightly due to mild dehydration, and your blood pressure can spike. These changes may not seem dramatic, but they can quietly increase your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and nighttime cardiac strain. Let's take Margaret, for example. She's 75 and lives alone. Every night she sets her thermostat to 75 degrees Fahrenheit and uses a heavy comforter. She often wakes up sweating and tired, but brushes it off as just age. What she doesn't realize is that her warm bedroom is disrupting her sleep cycles and putting unnecessary stress on her heart. Studies have shown that a cooler sleeping environment helps the body enter deeper, more restorative sleep. It also supports memory, immune function, and cardiovascular health. So, what's the ideal setup? Keep your room between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Use light, breathable bedding like cotton sheets and blankets. Avoid synthetic materials that trap heat. Use a fan or crack, open a window for fresh airflow. It's a small change, but it can have a massive impact on how your body rests and recovers. Coming up next, we'll look at one final bedtime habit, a surprisingly common one that could be restricting your breathing and putting extra pressure on your heart every single night. We rarely think about it, but how you sleep can be just as important as how long you sleep, especially after 70. Most people assume that as long as they're comfortable, their sleeping position doesn't matter. But in reality, certain positions can have a serious impact on your breathing, circulation, and heart health, and could silently be putting your life at risk. Let's start with the most common one, sleeping flat on your back. As we get older, the soft tissues in our throat become looser and more prone to collapsing during sleep. When you lie on your back, gravity causes your tongue and throat muscles to fall backward, narrowing your airway. This can lead to snoring, shallow breathing, or even sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts through the night. And here's the scary part. Many people with sleep apnea don't even know they have it. Take Robert, 76, for example. He always slept on his back. His wife noticed he would stop breathing for a few seconds, then gasp for air. Robert thought it was just snoring. But over time, he began waking up exhausted with headaches and memory issues. A sleep study revealed he had moderate obstructive sleep apnea, and his sleeping position was a major contributor. Even if you don't have sleep apnea, sleeping on your right side can still stress your heart. That's because it compresses the vena cava, a major vein that returns blood to your heart, making circulation harder, especially for those with existing heart conditions. So, what's the best position? Experts recommend sleeping on your left side. This helps improve circulation, supports digestion, and keeps your airways more open. For people with acid reflux or heart issues, it's often the safest and most restorative choice. Here's how to make the transition easier. Use a body pillow to support your back and keep you from rolling over. Elevate your head slightly to reduce airway pressure. Place a pillow between your knees for better spinal alignment and joint comfort. A simple shift in how you sleep could be the key to protecting your heart, your brain, and your life. Next, let's put all of these changes together into a safe, effective bedtime routine you can start using tonight. Now that you've learned the 4 bedtime habits that could be silently harming your health, let's talk about how to build a nighttime routine that actually protects your body and helps you sleep deeply and safely. This isn't about perfection. It's about small, intentional changes that add up over time. Because the truth is, what you do in the hours before bed can shape how you feel every morning. Let's start with timing your meals. Aim to eat your last substantial meal 3 to 4 hours before bed. This gives your body time to digest and your heart a chance to settle into a slower rhythm. If you're hungry later, opt for something light, a banana, a few almonds, or herbal tea. Next, manage your hydration. Front-load your water intake earlier in the day. In the evening, drink in moderation, just enough to stay comfortable, but not enough to send you rushing to the bathroom at 2 a.m. Then, optimize your sleep environment. Set your thermostat between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Wear lightweight sleepwear and use breathable blankets. A small fan or open window can help keep air flowing and your body cool. And finally, choose the right sleep position. Train yourself to sleep on your left side. Use pillows to keep yourself aligned, elevate your head slightly, and give your body the support it needs for uninterrupted, healthy rest. Put together, these habits form a powerful defense against the hidden risks of aging. They help reduce your chance of heart issues, falls, breathing problems, and sleep disruption, all while improving how you feel each day. Coming up next, we'll close with one final message and a challenge to you that could change your nights and maybe even save your life. You've just learned 4 bedtime habits that seem small, but could have massive consequences if ignored after 70. Frank didn't know these risks. Like millions of seniors, he lived his life with routines that felt safe, familiar, and harmless. But sometimes, the habits we don't question are the ones that quietly lead us into danger. Now you know better. You've learned that a heavy meal at night can strain your heart, that too much water before bed can cause dangerous falls, that a warm room can stress your body instead of helping it rest, and that sleeping in the wrong position can slowly cut off your airflow. So here's the challenge. Tonight, change just one thing. Move dinner earlier, lower your thermostat, sleep on your left side. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just one adjustment can make a real difference. And if this video helped you, it could help someone you love too. Share it with a friend, a parent, a grandparent, anyone over 60. Because one conversation, one small decision could literally save a life. Leave a comment below and tell us, which habit surprised you the most? What will you change tonight? And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. We're here to help you sleep better, live longer, and stay safe, one video at a time. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next one.